The point system is still bad. And I know I'll get some massive disagreements right now in the comment section. And I know people keep saying they don't want to use a point gun, which by the way, you didn't need to if you didn't want to, all right? It was simply there to maximize your points, maximize your strategy. Well, folks, we have no strategy in Black Ops 6. No strategy at all. But we do have a strategy on how we spend our points. So that is a welcome change. But someone on YouTube that goes by the name of Clam Rally, which has a nice and sexy profile pic, let me tell you folks, sexy no sexy. He made a title that says the horribly misunderstood new point system. And that calls for me, folks, like how orange chicken calls for me. So let's dive into it. But keep in mind, folks, I will not play the whole video because I'm a firm believer if I play the whole video, why would you want to see the original video? So I will try to play half of it. So let's get into it. Alrighty folks, so let's actually see what this guy has to say. We're gonna play a little bit of it. We might actually skip a few parts, but let's see what we got going on here.
Video by saying, like a lot of my other videos, this one's going to require a bit of a nuanced mindset. Which one's better for zombies? You might be quick to answer that by saying the old system. But what if I told you? No. I think the point system is just...
Alright, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I kind of disagree with that right off the bat. And plus, I think it's... I always talk about it. I think the old point system is really good, but I'm willing enough to keep on listening to him.
Find the way it functions with the earn points per kill instead of earn points per shot. Linearly increasing point costs for perk purchases are better than the stagnant cost.
I talked about that already, which pretty much increasing the perk cost is actually good and beneficial. I do like that, but I mostly talk about on how we get the points. I just want to add that.
That the perks had in the classic days. And salvage is definitely a welcome addition to the point economy. And while
salvage is really good, I agree.
I think the old point system might work in this new game. I do think it's important to give this point system a fair shot and kind of explain.
We did give it a fair shot when it came down to Cold War, so I do want to say that. And we also are giving it, I guess, a fair shot again when it comes down to Black Ops 6. So that's kind of two fair shots. I honestly skipped Vanguard, so I don't even know how Vanguard worked. I think Vanguard might have been the same way, so we actually been under the system for quite some time. So I feel like it's kind of a while now where we can actually say, look, I think the old point system was better.
I think I can confidently say, and I think mostly all of us can agree on this, that the core draw to zombies starting way back in World at War is the potential to play to reach a higher round.
Okay, yeah, I agree. But like I said in this video right here, you guys should watch that video, by the way. I feel like zombies kind of evolve into an objective-based game mode. It doesn't feel like a high round zombies mode now, but rather, can we defeat this boss? Can we actually beat him? Instead of like, bro, you think we can go to round 100? Maybe. But let's just see what else he says.
Zombie normally, just in the chest, you get 90 points. If you kill a zombie in the head, you get 115 points. And if you kill a zombie with a melee, you get 105 points. Now, I think the points were a little bit different in Cold War, but the important part is that both of these games, you didn't get points when you shot, only when you killed the zombie. That's the most important part.
I do want to say he explained it very well. It's just very confusing why they made melee 105. I feel like it should be 115, the same amount of points as a critical. So yeah, I'm a little confused on that one.
But why is the old system so good? Let's get into that. It rewarded clever play. To take a quote from CJ Santa's video,
you see, with the pistol, it gives the players who are smart the opportunity to min-max the number of points they can get on very low rounds. You could just shoot a zombie with your bullets in the chest until they die, or you could shoot the legs, which does less damage but gives you more points, and then knife, which really provided more points for the player.
I 1000% agree.
So boys, haha, 1 point for classic and none for the new point system. Because like, it's like, oh man, like the old point system, how they did it when how you get your points was so amazing. It was so cool. Like there was a lot of strategy to it. So that's why I really was, man. I'll tell you what, folks, it really was. But let's continue on.
High rounds. The reason I don't like high rounding in the old games is because, to be honest, I think they're incredibly boring.
Okay, going high rounds is very subjective, where I came to find out, because I actually started to enjoy Black Ops 6 high rounds because it started getting hard with manglers spawning in and it felt more stressful. Classic zombies did felt like it got boring after a while once you got a strategy down, but that being said, I don't know how this has to do with the point system, but maybe he'll explain it.
And just not engaging at all. Not to say that someone can't find that fun. Clearly people grind the high rounds of the older games all of the time, and when they do get these crazy high rounds, I'm like just in utter awe with how dedicated someone can be to get those insane rounds. Like nothing short of absolute respect to these guys. Like y'all are insane. I could never do that. Me personally, I just don't really like old game higher rounds for many reasons, and I actually do think there are legitimate flaws in the system, with the biggest one for me being the point system.
Okay, I already see where he's going with this. He's talking about the spending points aspect. I mostly talk about the gaining points aspect. He wants something to progress more too, which is why I think we can totally kind of blend both worlds, and I think people are saying we can't do that. But my question is why? Why can't we do it? Obviously they're not going to change it in Black Ops 6, but maybe 7, folks. They can. Or maybe they can get a new mode out.
With the perfect example being augments. I would say these are wonderful additions that most people also agree on saying they're great additions in this game. But I'll go one step further. They are the greatest thing this game mode has ever seen, and I hope they continue to innovate on this system. This is the best thing they could have added to the game to give it more variety with how you play it. And keep that word in mind, because we're gonna come back to it later on. These augments are a core part of this gameplay that I think some people just kind of see as like an optional thing. No. These are
Okay, maybe I'm a bit confused here, but I don't know what he's going on about, and he kind of is losing me here.
But things are just different now. Let's go back to how the augments affect this point system. Being this powerful has to come with a cost, and the points/time to get those points is that cost.
You got me back. Okay, once again, it seems like he wants something more to spend when you have a lot of points, and so do I, alright? I'm all for increasing the price of each perk, and I do think the augment system is awesome and we need to keep it. And I'm all for increasing the price of each perk, and I do think the augment system is awesome and should stay in the game. But that's the augment system, not the point system. I personally do not see a correlation between the two. I get how augments make perks more powerful, but that's augments, not points. Matter of fact, the points still stay the same price with or without augments attached to it. But let's just get back to the video.
I'm gonna bring up this video again by CJ Santa. Again, no hate at all to you at all. I really like this video, but I think a little bit more could have been put into why the point system could potentially be good.
But BO6 takes it even further and makes the point system even worse. You see, because of the amount of bosses that the game spawns in, and how little points they drop when you kill them, it causes players to waste their ammo and not even be able to get it back in a lot of ways for the mid-rounds.
My argument for this is that while I do agree more points need to drop from these elite enemies for sure, it's not like that's any different than the old games. In Black Ops 2, when you kill a Panzer, you get 100 points. Are you fucking serious? I fucking never realized that back in the day. At least they changed it in Black Ops 3 to where you get 1500.
So the classic version, you do have a point to a certain degree. You see in the clip you were showing, it's at round 22 and you have 22,000 points. I feel like you're not starving for points.
Gonna starve.
So I do understand why the developers made the Panzers make you get 100 points, and even in Black Ops 6 they did increase that price higher for each boss or special elite enemy kill. So it makes sense, like it does make sense, but at the same time though, you were getting a lot of points. Like, you know, look once again, if you look at the round he's already on and you compare that round to Black Ops 6, that's like, you're not getting to that level, all right? Like your points are going to be gone by then. So it makes sense.
Difficult. People are saying, oh, just put in the old point system. I don't know why they don't do it. Here's exactly why. If you got as many points as you do in this old point system, nothing would feel rewarding.
Okay, so I personally think the new point system sucks because it matters how fast you kill them. He's saying you have to earn it, but at the same time, I feel like players are just going to use the meta weapons and zombies because regardless, you're going to get 90 or better yet, 115 points because there's no strategy when it comes down to earning points. They do make it more casual with you coming back with a lot of points and your weapon being at a higher tier. So I don't know if that's earned, I would say. That just makes me think classic is better. And let's not forget they're making it even easier, where if you spawn in with a meta weapon and you go buy Vulture Aid, you get more salvage and more points. Sometimes players like me, for example, will spawn in and wait for a weapon you want to get to a certain rarity and then buy it off the wall. And this matters because if you're using a meta weapon, you are dominating in the game.
That's what we should want, more variety with how you play the game. Also, traps actually give you points in this game, which is another thing that spreads those points out in other areas rather than solely on a gun, which encourages more things to be used on a map because it will add to your currency like it never did with the old point system.
He does also have a point there as well, because you earn points from so many other ways in BO6, and it might be hard to implement classic point system to the new point system, but I believe it is possible to blend the two still.
Ignored. And I think that's much more of a problem than just, oh, it's one little problem. I think a whole weapon type not being used that much is a big problem. Like, who looked at the L96, the Stakeout, the HS10, and guns similar to that and were like, oh yay, let me keep these guns. You don't need a point gun anymore. This is a whole new style of game. But here's the thing, right? There's going to be tiers and metas to weapons no matter what. And I think it's important in a game like this. Like, who's gonna take the CZ75 to round 35? Like, that seems like utter hell. But in this game, I gave it a try with the 9mm Makarov pistol, and I could get to round 35 with relative ease. It started capping out about there, but like, look, I ain't ashamed to say I ain't a high round player, but I'm above average when it comes to, like, I would say the regular player.
So he is right with meta weapons, but I feel like it's kind of worse here because yes, he is using the pistol and having fun, because at the end of the day, you should have fun. But the question really relies on, why would I do that over another weapon? I feel like a majority of people wouldn't. He's right on snipers though, but now they made it a grenade launcher hybrid, which was awesome, and the shotguns are very good too. I think Black Ops 3 really freaking did well with the weapons. I feel like there was no bad weapons there either. I remember seeing a high round with someone using a Shiva, so yeah.
I think the only thing that's making it seem like it's not as much variety is the loadout system. That is 100% where I agree with you, where I really don't think we need this loadout system. It ruins things like the mystery box.
Preach, brother, preach! Freaking preach, my lord, preach, man! I've been saying that the mystery box feels obsolete, and like I said with Vulture Aid, you can spawn in with a weapon and make it stronger. Alright folks, basically that video was really good. I just want to say that right off the bat, we had some agreements, we had some disagreements, but it doesn't matter as long as we're both enjoying the game and we both have some ideas. It seems like he's very passionate about Call of Duty Zombies, and I'm very passionate too about Call of Duty Zombies. We have some disagreements, and I don't want anyone sending any hate to him at all. I just think the old point system is really good, and matter of fact, I still believe that we can actually blend the two and actually make it work. I think the trap kills, I think those are really good because those give you points, and I think also adding the score streaks and maybe they get you points too with the classic, and maybe like it's 10 points because now you're using the score streaks, and since score streaks are super OP and they're kind of mostly used for a get out of jail free card, I still find a way that it's very possible. That's where I'm trying to get at right now. It's that it's super possible that we can blend these two, because arguably he does have a good point with him saying that there are some goods and bads with the old point system and the new point system. So let's blend together, okay? Blend together and actually find the greatest point system possible. Alrighty, folks. You guys already know what you need to do. Watch more of my content, watch all good videos, and make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. The best gamer of all time is signing off. Thank you guys for watching.
Clouds go higher.